Another subject that I want to get into is Giannis Antetokounmpo for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's reportedly scheduled to work out with a legend this offseason. The one and only Hakeem, the Dream, Olajuwon, one of the greatest centers in the history of the National Basketball Association. Here's Giannis talking about working out with Hakeem.
I have a trip that I'm going to go down to Houston and try to work out with Hakeem Olajuwon. I love his game, and if I can kind of take few things from his game or learn anything from the few days I'm going to spend with him, it's going to be a blessing. It's a guy that I've looked up my whole life. He's a guy that my parents look up to because he was the number one guy in Nigeria.
Okay, that was Giannis Antetokounmpo speaking about it. My man Gilbert Arenas got a podcast, Gil's Arena. It's got something else on YouTube. It's got two things working out. He's an entrepreneur. I ain't hating on it. I got love for the Gilbert Arenas. I was on his podcast before. Gilbert Arenas, he claims that Olajuwon charges $50,000 for his workouts. I have not confirmed whether or not that is the case. I do not know. It does not matter to me because it has nothing to do with the point that I'm about to make. But he, meaning Gilbert Arenas, thought this was a complete waste of time for Giannis. Here's how he explained it.
I'm sorry, but nobody doing that shit no more. All you old son bitches, stand down. Nobody want the Hakeem Olajuwon skyhook. Nobody want none of that shit, all right? Let it go. 50,000. You should be ashamed of yourself. Charging these young whippersnappers 50. When you came in the league in 1984, you wasn't getting 50,000 a game. You trying to make your money back through the youth. Giannis, no.
I respectfully disagree with Gilbert Arenas. Gil's, by the way, his YouTube show is called No Chill Gil. Want to give him some love, but I respectfully disagree with him. First of all, let's understand who Hakeem Olajuwon is. He's one of the top 5 greatest centers in the history of basketball. That's number one. Number two, right up there with Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, all of that. Okay, he's right there. Olajuwon is right there. Okay, number one. Number two, he's trained LeBron James. He's trained Kobe Bryant. He's trained Carmelo Anthony. They all gave his training high marks. This is what Kobe Bryant, the late, great Kobe Bryant, once had to say about Olajuwon's training advice. He said, when you're able to understand the small details, you're able to elevate it to another higher level. That was Olajuwon. To you young whippersnappers out there who just don't know better, breath smelling like Similac, wet behind their ears, go watch Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon in the NBA Finals in 1994 against Patrick Ewing. Go watch Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon in the 90s when he went up against the Admiral, David Robinson, who I love as a person. Olajuwon destroyed him. Ladies and gentlemen, we look at somebody like Kyrie Irving, who's fasted during the season, if I remember correctly. Olajuwon used to do that all the time, being a Muslim from Nigeria. People talk about your energy, your strength, how the fasting zaps you or whatever. We couldn't tell because Olajuwon was the dream shake and everything in between. He blocked shots. He rebounded. And he had moves in the post that was unrivaled by pretty much any big man he had gone against. I can name Moses Malone, again, Kareem, Wilt, Shaq, all of these brothers. No doubt about it. Olajuwon is in the conversation. They were damn good players, the Bob Laniers, the Artis Gilmores of the world, okay? They weren't Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. So let's understand that. And the reason I disagree with Gil is because I know the game has changed, Gil. I get you. And I understand that guys ain't just playing with their back to the basket anymore, but I'm saying that wasn't Olajuwon either. He could take you down, face up, facing the basket. You got to score points in the post. Everything can't be a three-point shot. And the more formidable you are in the post, the more that's going to serve to free you up to some degree. If you got a shooter on the squad with you or two, it's going to free up the shooter. If it doesn't free up the shooter, then they got to cover you one-on-one, and they're going to be incapable of doing so. Not to mention, you can't ignore his defensive prowess as well. Giannis definitely needs all the help that he can get. My issue, Gil, with Giannis is that I think more of a priority for him should be his perimeter shooting ability. Giannis, you can't shoot. Now, I love Giannis. He's a superstar. I hope that the Knicks get him. But damn, all you got to do is back up. You back up, and you dare Giannis to shoot, and chances are your chances of winning elevate exponentially. So I'm not knocking Giannis for wanting to work out with Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, because I think that will help him in terms of when he has to play with his back to the basket. And I understand that, because that is something that he needs to add to his arsenal, as opposed to just bulldozing and elevating himself over the competition. But at the end, or coming downhill because you're dribbling the ball from midcourt. But what I would say, however, for Giannis, is that you got to get a perimeter shot, my brother. Maybe that's God's way of looking out for all of us. Because if Giannis had a perimeter shot, he'd be unstoppable. He's damn near unstoppable now. He'd be unstoppable. But because he doesn't have a perimeter shot, you can load the block come playoff time. Dare him to beat you from the perimeter. And that's chances are he's not going to do that.